You, get out of here, you. Get out of here, you. We don't want you here anymore. We don't want you here at all. Get out of here, you. So, today we are going to be talking about one of my many ideas that I have, not just for a show, because people say, oh, you know, you write stories and you write things for TV and film, but what else do you do? Well, if you've been watching, you'll know. But if you're new to this, sometimes I come up with different things. They could be game shows, or they could be just games generally that you could play with the family. And that is exactly what I have done today. And we're going to talk about it, and we're going to play it. Okay, 4 people, you can play with 4 people. You can play with fewer, but it's not as good. I would suggest probably 4 minimum. But I know people are lonely these days, so you know, it's difficult. So the game is called Katanga, and I want you to say it like that as well. So don't, you know, oh, Katanga. Should we play Katanga? No, Katanga. That's how you say it, because it's more fun. And as we play and everybody joins in that spirit, you'll see why that's more fun. So what is Katanga? Katanga is a new game show / board game / parlour game, if you have a parlour, I have devised as a way of spreading goodwill, which is supposed to be popular nowadays. Yeah, spreading goodwill. It's a complementary game, marketed as though it comes from the Mystic East. You know, if you're of a certain age, you might remember Turkish Delight adverts, where a guy with a great big scimitar would and he'd cut a Turkish Delight, one of the fries ones that were covered in chocolate, come down with his scimitar, and he'd cut through it, and it'd be a lovely kind of silky rose Turkish Delight in between the chocolate. And he'd go, Turkish Delight, and the guy would speak like this, he'd go, Turkish Delight, full of Eastern promise. Yeah, it's Turkey, east of here anyway. It's really not that far east, I mean, when you consider where the meridian is, but it's east of here. So this is a bit like, from the Mystic East. A round of Katanga starts when the first person says Katanga, and they score points by saying something nice about the person on their right. Remaining players count down 3, 2, 1, so there is no hesitation. And players cannot repeat the same compliment. So you have to come up with, you're good at this and you're nice at that, and you can't hesitate really. So, you know, it's got to be, I think, because the thing, if you had hesitation, people would sort of come up with slightly clever stuff that they didn't mean, or they would go, how can I say something I don't really mean? You know, this gets around that kind of beautifully. Okay. The other players can challenge an inaccurate comment or compliment by saying Katanga, and gain control of the round if they get agreement from the other non-playing players. So that would be, in our case, that would be the 2 people who aren't involved in the compliment, or the person who delivered the compliment and the person who says Katanga to challenge it, the other 2 people, they would say, yes, we agree, or no, we don't. Katanga will be very popular in modern society, where criticism of any direct nature is greatly frowned upon. And mostly we are expected to give up people's virtues they do not merit. And mostly we are expected to give people virtues they do not merit. A very grown-up version of the game is possible with a Mutanga round, a Mutanga call, which forces an insult for the next point. But a Mutanga round is strictly for the over 40s, as they are old enough to be able to remember a world where warranted harsh criticism was meted out. Discuss Katanga and play a round. Okay, so this is if you remember, like, family time. Do you remember when people, like, they'd have families and they go, let's have family time, and then
I think people still do that.
Yeah, I think
We still love family time.
but it's Well, I suppose that you're kind of exceptions because it's been eroded by like iPads. Shut him up with an iPad, yeah. And it's taken away family time. And this is a nice thing to do with family, but it's also a nice thing to do with friends.
You're complementing each other.
And you're complementing each other, and you sort of learn something, and you know there might be tears of joy.
Yeah. Okay.
Where people say, oh, I didn't know you thought that. I didn't know you felt that way. And so I thought on that basis, if you could explain the game to people, we could show them what we mean. They will go, this is a game I want to play. Where can I buy it? Now the only problem is, as it stands, it's difficult to sell. But what I might do is maybe I'll set up a website and like put the rules, and you can buy the rules on there, and then you can play your own game of Katanga. So now shall we try?
Just there might be an issue with us putting the rules out there.
I think you've just said the rules. We could cut that bit or sort of censor it somehow.
Well, I think that people can be very forgetful.
Having it written.
And I think you've got to have it written down. And I think it's not official Katanga if you don't, if it's not cut, it's not come from us. So people, you can't do it with a C. It's got to be a K. And I think I can. This is official. This is the first time Katanga's ever played. Okay, that's it. This is like a copyright notice, like one of those federal notices at the top of things. Before videos start. This is the first time it was ever played. This is a fact. This is time stamped. Okay, so people can look. You can play it afterwards, but I'm thinking of like global tournaments, and you could even have like world leaders playing Katanga. It's got to be Katanga, yeah. And then they'll be like, oh, I didn't know you felt that way about me. Let's be friends now. So this is about
bringing people together.
This is about peace.
Yeah.
I don't think people can say, oh, it's only a parlour game. They mock. But would you mock peace? I wouldn't.
Certainly not.
Feels like there'll be quite a cult following to this game, I think. But what happens if you see someone now, like we release this onto YouTube, and then you see someone in the street shout Katanga, and it happens in front of you and on a tube or something? How would you feel about that?
Well, I positive. I mean, the only problem is, like, nobody carries change anymore, so it would be difficult to go. It's 20p, isn't it? I mean,
that's very reasonable.
Difficult to get royalties nowadays from people in the street.
You could sort of merchandise it and make money that way.
Katanga
like
t-shirts,
Katanga and
tees.
like because they did that thing, didn't they, kids? Recently, they did that thing with cups. They did the cup stacking thing.
Oh, the speed.
Yeah, so if we could have.
And then they had special cups that you could do it with, and it was like, you've just sold people 12 cups there. That's very, very clever.
So we need something like that, like Katanga. They couldn't be Katanga cups because it doesn't really relate to the thing. But like maybe you could sell like Katanga baseball caps
with compliments on the side or something.
Well, sort of, but if somebody's wearing a Katanga hat, then they're willing to give out compliments.
Or there could be a little arrow spinner on the top of the hat, and at any point someone could spin it, and then when it points at someone, you shout Katanga, and that's
where you kick it off.
Start around,
Yeah.
and not pointing at someone and say, be nice about them.
Yeah.
But you could do, so we could sell hats. And the rule book, I think.
Yeah, notepad to keep scores.
Yes.
Your favourite compliments.
What
have you learnt about yourself that you've heard that you like that can go in a little diary?
You could.
Katanga diary.
People be playing it on like Instagram and
TikTok.
They'd be kind of like, oh, they said this about me today, because it's all about validation, isn't it?
My only concern is that if people are then shouting Katanga while you've already started playing, then they're saying, oh, don't think I believe that compliment. Backlash.
Well, it's got to have.
Getting rid of the positivity,
Well, it's not. It's there has to be a challenge element to the game, because otherwise it's just people being nice to one another. And while that sounds like it would be a good thing, I think people, there's a boredom threshold.
Not a lot of tension.
No. So you could say it doesn't, like when I say inaccuracy, it doesn't necessarily. It depends on what the compliment is. It's like, oh, if you said to like a really fat person, like you go, oh, you're slim, that has to be challenged.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be challenged, and people have to be honest, because are compliments more important than honesty? It's one of those.
And then are you out if you've given a compliment that's not factual?
Yeah, you're out.
You're out. Okay.
You're out.
So it's the
And you
last one
can't-
standing, the last complimenter.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty cutthroat.
Cutthroat compliments.
But you have proven in the circle, however wide the circle is, whatever the breadth of the circle, you've proven to be the nicest person. So you deserve to win, because you are the most accurately complimentary.
In everyone's eyes, yeah.
Everybody's agreed. There's no avoiding that. So if you can, when people,
The fat lady is now crying though. She is
Yeah,
quite
that's my
upset.
concern.
She must know that
Yeah.
she's fat. Like,
she knows. She knows.
She's aware, but to,
I think it's more hurtful to lie to the fat lady.
Yeah,
I
maybe
can
she
see.
she gets to, if you prove someone a liar of a compliment, the person who was lied to, maybe they get to deliver a blow,
like a slap.
They get a Mutanga.
That's
or a
that's
verbal
Mutanga.
or a verbal blow.
I mean, this is where the
We're
Mutanga
getting
round
into
is
the
important,
overflows.
but we've
Yeah.
got to be. We can't. There's a couple of generations of people now who just aren't really used to any form of criticism, so you just got to be very, very careful, because I think if you unleash a Mutanga round on people who aren't ready for it,
Oh yeah, that's going to go down.
it won't be.
Mayhem.
Then it's the
Yeah,
opposite
bloodbath.
of what you want. So let's give it a whirl. Hey, it's fun, and we'll see how it goes. To an extent, I'm prepared to say work in progress. But if we go Katanga, that's a nice white T-shirt.
And then I would compliment.
3,
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
We'll
can't-
give you a bit more. We'll give you a bit
Okay,
longer.
sure.
Right.
3.
2.
You've got good, strong
One.
legs.
Yeah, we like that
3.
one. 3,
3.
2.
Oh, you have a very
One.
warm energy.
Thank you. Thank you. Is that okay to say thank you? Thank you.
Okay, but the only problem with thank you.
Right.
No, I in general I like it. The problem with thank you is it eats into your time.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
What about Katanga each time? So you receive it, Katanga.
As a
go,
thank you.
Katanga. Yeah, so there's the Katanga each time.
You're
But-
getting that,
Yeah.
repetition of the game name.
But it's good. It's good for that. But the only problem is, it's like she's challenging your compliment of
yeah.
her,
Katanga means challenge.
We could,
as well as start the game.
Okay.
That's tricky. That could we choose a different word?
Could we just have
What about a bow?
A-
A bow to acknowledge the compliment
Or,
during the countdown.
and then sort of accept?
but it's all about time. Maybe if we substitute thank you for the word 3, because we're all going to be saying 3 anyway.
If you say
So
3
like
with a
3
smile.
means thank you.
3.
3?
2.
Oh,
and
but
then
am I counting down if it's my turn to then?
You don't have to thank
I like
anybody,
3. I
do
like
you?
3.
Three's a nice way to thank. 3, and then people carry on
Okay.
2, 1.
Okay.
So you just don't. It's like it's up to you though.
Katanga. You've got a really cool T-shirt.
3,
3.
2, 1.
I like your jersey.
3, 2, 1.
That's a good phone.
3, 2, 1.
I like your beard.
3,
3,
2,
1.
1. Lovely hair.
3,
2, 1.
I like your shiny shoes.
3, 2, 1.
1.
Oh,
Fire.
Fire.
I was just, if
What-
you
yeah,
don't
what
make
happens
it,
now?
if you don't get the 3 seconds,
No, I'm out. No, I'm
You're out.
I'm out. Couldn't think of anything. See, I'm too thinking about appearance. There's not much to go on because we went
Right.
T-shirt
Mm-hmm.
and then the phone, which isn't your appearance, but I
they
can
were all
see
quite
it.
visual-based
Yeah.
compliments.
I
Yeah,
suppose that's
that
tricky
says a
with-
lot. We're learning things,
Oh,
doesn't it? No, I mean I don't mean to interrupt,
no.
but we all went visual, didn't we? All
We
of
did.
us.
But I suppose you would because I don't know
Yeah,
everyone here as well as I could.
that's the thing.
And you don't want to get caught out assuming somebody's
A
nature to then
personality
be
trait.
challenged.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
That's the
game.
risk
Though.
you
That's the
run.
game. There is the risk. It's not all sweetness and light. I'm out. So
Well, I was gonna. Should we play that was slightly more like a warm up, I would say. We could
Speed
we could do
round?
a speed round, perhaps.
faster than that.
I think we could.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we could achieve it. Yeah.
Can we agree on 3, 2, 1 pace?
3, 2, 1.
What's that?
Compliment.
That's energetic.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Do we have a 0 or is 1 out?
3, 2, 1.
Say
Words.
Speed.
something if you don't.
Yeah.
But you can go
you
earlier.
have to say something.
You can go earlier than that.
Oh, you
could,
can?
you could say something
can.
when someone's on 2. You could.
It would rhythmically a little bit be a bit uncomfortable.
Yeah,
It'd be faster.
jarring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you have to speak, so
Mm-hmm.
it might not even come out as a compliment. It could just be
Mhm.
3, 2, 1. You've got no.
Katanga took me messing
3,
up
2,
well,
1.
really well. Took me messing up well.
3, 2, 1.
1. Nice oaky timbre to your voice.
3, 2, 1.
Brilliant tan you have there.
3, 2, 1. Good writer. 3, 2, 1.
Great phone.
Oh, challenge
Oh,
to
you've done
Katanga.
that one.
Yeah, we
Okay.
had that.
No, but well,
was similar.
you're Katangering,
Yeah.
so you have to. Do you agree with his challenge?
I do agree with the challenge.
I'm out again. You see, I've developed the game. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm good at it
If I'd say you the worst, actually.
Mm.
Yeah, out of the four of us.
now. But we haven't played it for very long.
Sure.
Could
sure.
change. Maybe if I was someone else was sat there.
Shall I put my phone away
Is that distracting?
and then maybe we'll play another round?
Because it is a nice phone.
And I feel like it's.
But there's
I
more
feel like-
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot
Well,
You
to
it's
could
good.
probably look beyond the phone if
I'll try and avoid. I don't know. It might be helpful for you to have it there. I will try and think of something else.
Okay.
Okay, but this is honestly it's a 3-way now. I'm out. We've
Right.
got to play to.
Sure.
It's no good because then it's doing the opposite. 'Cause it's singling someone out for failure because it's just going. If it's like a 4-person game, first person fails and everybody just talks about their failure.
Ah, yeah.
Then it's not doing what we
No.
wanted it to do.
No.
We've got to carry on the compliments.
Yeah, right. So so someone makes the call to start again, and that's it. I'll count. I'll keep counting, so I'm still part of it.
I was going to say, are you possibly still allowed to challenge, but that way you retain your interest in the game, but you don't receive any compliments?
Maybe I could get back in
Ooh,
if I
With a
with a
successful
successful
challenge.
challenge. But does that not make the game too long?
it could do. I could-
Essentially.
mm.
Well, but we might not agree with your challenge.
That's true. I mean, you're at the mercy of the other people.
Mm-hmm.
But mercy again is a virtue. So
Katanga!
3, 2, 1.
Nice Australian accent.
3.
I'm going to challenge that
Oh.
in that I don't have an Australian accent.
Katanga.
Katanga.
Oh no, you're out.
You've been Katanga'd.
Are you not from
I'm
Australia?
from New Zealand. I'm so sorry to tell you.
Okay. Challenging. Accepted.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Fair, that's all right.
No, look.
You
it
only
happens.
slipped into the accent like probably once or twice. Other than that, you sounded quite from
Really?
London. Yeah.
Interesting.
Really?
But that actually proves the point that you made earlier. If you don't really know people very well, it's
You run the
risky.
risk, yeah.
Mm.
Maybe stick
But
with
it was a-
appearance.
It was a good effort
Mm.
because you weren't far off.
Yeah. But also, I suppose a compliment. It wasn't saying a fact. It wasn't saying you have an Australian accent.
You have
was-
a nice one.
It was
If
a
she were
nice
faking it.
Australian accent, is what I heard.
Trouble is, you're not allowed to make that point. She Katangaed in challenge, which
Mm.
leaves it to us. I'm not sure if it leaves it to me or if I'm like totally out, but maybe Like, if you agree,
Why I knew that she was from New Zealand, which
Yeah.
makes it slightly trickier for me to.
Mm.
so you can defend yourself all you like, but basically you've got no power in the situation.
No.
Oh, so the person that's been Katanga'd, they can't
No,
challenge.
it's up to everyone else
Right.
in the game, you know. So that's tough.
So there's a brutal element to it, isn't there?
there's two left.
Okay.
Katanga. 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
I like your eyes.
Katang. No.
3,
2, 1.
1. Lovely wrists.
3, 2, 1.
Great hair. 3, 2, 1.
Lovely freckles.
3, 2,
Small
1.
appearance.
Nice broad shoulders.
3,
2, 1.
Great straight teeth.
3, 2, 1. I think you're funny.
3, 2,
1.
Katanga.
Oh.
Can I Katanga?
Yeah, because you
Wow,
don't think he's
okay.
funny.
You don't think he's... Yeah?
Yeah, not sure.
It's interesting that. It's the first one that wasn't appearance.
Yeah. All the others, very handsome.
Yeah.
I don't know. I felt the need to just challenge one at that point,
Just-
to be honest,
just
just
not-
to see if I could break the rule.
And I can't defend myself.
No, you can't tell us that you are funny.
But if I say...
That really wouldn't help you, I don't think, either.
No.
No, I think it would go against you if anything.
Yeah, because if you're... Yeah, exactly. Because if you're going, no, I am, then it'd be like, oh,
Honest.
no, he's not.
Well, it was more that the compliment was, I think you're funny.
She,
So
she-
you can't
That's my
challenge
opinion. Oh, see, that's tricky.
her thinking I'm funny.
Hmm.
You may not think I'm funny for whatever reason, but
This is difficult. I think he should be able to... I think you should be able to challenge anything.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only...
Well, I
Because
know,
otherwise
of course
you could work think into everything, couldn't you, just to avoid challenges?
then
So
you're kind of impervious.
so he's saying he doesn't... This isn't Mutanga, by the way, but he doesn't think you're funny. Now, he's got to convince me that... You've got to convince me that he's not funny.
And
Quite subjective, though, isn't it?
But you made the challenge.
Okay.
So you don't think he's funny, and then...
One of the least funniest people I know.
Okay. So if I say you're not funny too, she's the winner.
is that the consensus?
Oh no, because I said it, so I'm out. That was my compliment.
Oh,
you
so I'm
said
the
that
winner.
he was funny.
Yeah, but I got Katanga'd for
No,
mine.
you're right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
So I'm
So
you
you
win.
might not be
I might
funny,
be
but
funny.
you...
So-
I am
so
the
you're-
champion.
You're not funny, but you are the winner. Yeah.
Thank you.
Does that feel good? Do you feel...
Yeah.
Is that...
It feels good to win
Do you feel
Big
good?
win.
and not be. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
glad.
but-
I'm glad I put my phone away,
No, you got a good to great phone.
and I'm.
You look all right. You're not...
an unfunny winner.
Oh God! I mean, you can't have everything.
You
You want to be
can't have
funny. You
all-
want to. You want to be funny. Wants to be funny. You need to be unattractive. You can't have good
Is it
looking
that?
people being. You can't be funny
That's
as
a
well.
rule. That's a life rule, isn't it? We all know it.
It's greedy.
So, do we dare? Because you're all a bit young. Do we dare do a Mutanga round?
Is crying allowed?
Yeah, you can always cry.
Okay.
Mm.
Then yeah.
But it's not it's not a round as such. But you can call when you're delivering your compliment. You can break the 3 seconds by saying Mutanga and delivering an insult instead.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right?
Do you declare it?
Yeah, you go Mutanga. Like you can't think of anything good. That's why an insult is required.
Mm-hmm.
So like people go 3, 2, 1. You're like Mutanga, right? And then you get to deliver an insult. Everybody waits, and you can.
You can have as much time as you like to...
Well, you usually think of them quite quickly. So, do you dare? Do you dare?
I'm nervous, but I'll...
Let's give it a try.
Disclaimers. Disclaimers everywhere. Be careful. Yeah, because I did say it was for over 40s. Because they can remember when like teachers would hit them, and like parents didn't like them very much, and you couldn't. There was that thing: children should be seen and not heard.
Mm-hmm.
That was definitely true, and if they were heard, it was clout. Yeah, you get
Yeah, so this is
clouted.
nothing to the
Exactly.
40-year-olds.
But younger than that, it's like all the power went to the children.
Yeah.
They go, my daddy hit me, and they sort of, shoot him or whatever. They go to jail forever. That kind of thing that goes on now. So, Mutanga. Okay. I'm trying to. Katanga. Took
Three,
took
two,
being not
one.
funny very well.
3, 2, 1.
Mutanga, bad judge of people's comedic talents.
3, 2, 1.
Mutanga, you sit in a chair differently to everyone.
3,
2,
2,
1.
1. Mutanga, I don't like the colour of your trousers.
Well, grey is inoffensive.
3,
It's just not, I don't,
1.
I would make the point that it's not a Mutanga round, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
You come up with Mutangas if you can't come up with a Katanga.
That was
I think it's off the back of, am I out of compliments? We've done a lot of rounds of compliments.
You've
I
got
don't
to,
know. I might be out of them.
you need to play with
I
different
I
people.
was out of them. That's why.
You were out of,
Yeah.
you couldn't
What
think of
would be
anything.
good actually is if for merchandise, if you had a Katanga sort of compliments book, sort of loads of like brush up on what are good compliments, because I think you're going to do a round and you're going to run out of creativity.
Non-specific
Yeah,
compliments, so they're not really about a
Potential
person, but just about
compliments, yeah.
people in general.
it could be about anyone
That's
Compliment
quite a,
starters, if
quite
you
a
will.
nice book just to put out into the
into
Mm.
the
Into the
world.
world.
Compliment
generally,
book.
yeah.
Compliment book.
Katanga book.
Lovely 10 fingers, although lovely 8 fingers and 2 thumbs, and then I lost my little finger in a industrial accident. Does that mean you don't like me? But the odds of running into someone like that quite slim. Wouldn't. I mean, you probably have to play Katanga 500 times. You'd be unlucky if you played less than 500 times and ran into that.
Met someone that had 9 fingers.
Yeah.
And you would get
But
challenged.
you could quickly clock that. Another compliment. That's not
Yeah.
going to work
I like
at
your
this point.
I like the
I like your 7 fingers.
You have
They've-
2 kind ears.
2 kind ears. Or they just did a really neat job in the surgery
Oh,
of like covering, and
Great
they might be
surgery.
like,
You
oh,
have neat hand surgery.
Yeah.
and they go, and that's the kind of thing that only their mother would have told them.
Yeah, they've probably never been
Yeah.
told that.
So,
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Mm.
What a, so it's
Thanks,
all
Katanga.
that is a Katanga, and I would like the word Katanga, with its mystical Eastern qualities, to be synonymous with kindness. Almost another word for kindness and goodness. Because then, if people are just saying, "Oh, that's Katanga," you could have TV shows just, "Oh, that's Katanga," where they. Do you remember Surprise, Surprise with Cilla Black? Yeah, and they would get families together who had not seen each other for ages. And I always thought about that. If I hadn't bothered to see anybody for 30 years, it's probably a reason. But they would all get up and cry. Oh, we lost touch. And 30 years. How hard were you trying? And it's like, oh, and they were only living 20 miles away. Like,
There was a choice then.
but they would cry on telly because it's the stress.
It's
Mm-hmm.
heightened.
It wouldn't work now though, because I think we're so able and accessible to communicate and to connect with each other. Whereas then they just had a landline, and then some people didn't even have a landline.
It's even more obvious now that you don't want to stay in touch.
Oh, it's really obvious. If you don't want to speak to someone, I mean, you've got like 5 ways of speaking to someone in the room with you. So
If you've avoided someone for 30 years, that's deliberate avoidance.
now it is, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, that is not Katanga. So I hope you enjoyed our little game. Hey, I'm the first to admit, could need a bit of refining, but we certainly had fun, didn't we?
Yes.
We had fun playing Katanga. Remember, Katanga, say it like that. We didn't too much because it's very fast paced, but If you say it like that, then we know that you mean it. Katanga means kindness. Bye.